In this video we're going to see how to export your model, the SketchUp model, to be 3D printed using a 3D printer. So the first thing is preparing your model by removing things that you might not want to have in the 3D print. And for example, you don't want to have the furniture pieces 3D printed together. So in this case I'm just going to select by selecting the furniture piece and press delete on your keyboard to delete those furniture pieces, and then you have your model prepared. The next thing that we want to do is, in order to export this, we need to bring in an extension, and it doesn't come by default to SketchUp. So, but if you use the free version on Chrome, if you use the Chrome browser and go to SketchUp 3, the web browser version of SketchUp, it automatically has that. It's there by default, but in this particular version, SketchUp Make 2017, it doesn't come automatically. So you need to install an extension, and it's quite easy how to do that is by going to Window and by going to Extension Warehouse, which is quite similar to 3D Warehouse. You would need an account, and if you created an account for the 3D Warehouse, that same account should be should be able to work on Extension Warehouse as well. So I'm just going to type in STL because that's the file type that we want to export our model as, stereolithography, and then I'm going to select this particular extension. Don't select any of the others because most of these you'd have to pay for, but this one is a free, completely free, even though it says free. These sometimes these are not free. So I'm going to use this particular extension, which is a completely free extension. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to install it. It's going to say not compatible, but that's fine. I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say yes to this, but it's at your own discretion. You have to provide access to your computer system. I'm going to say yes, and it's going to install. And once it's successfully installed, it's going to say it's done. I'm going to say OK, and I can just close this dialog box off. And once the extension is installed and if everything went well, you'd be able to see this by going to File, and there should be a new menu option here which says Export STL, and that's what we want, an STL file. And if you click on Export STL, it's going to give you some it's going to ask you questions, but just say export, and I'm going to export it onto my desktop. I'm going to make a new folder called 3D print, and I'm going to say dorm room STL. That's fine. Say yes, and that should export my 3D model. And in the next video, what I'm going to look at is how to bring this into a specific software for, different 3D printers have different softwares. I'm going to use one of those softwares that we use with our 3D printers to show you how to bring the STL model into that particular software and then prepare it for 3D printing.